Dear Kaja, good morning, everybody. Dear colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen, my very first long-distance trip as German Foreign Minister earlier this year took me to the Indo-Pacific. This was a very much conscious decision, because security and prosperity of the Indo-Pacific and Europe are closely intertwined. Because what happens in the Indo-Pacific directly affects us in Europe and vice versa. And because I believe that together we will shape our global future economically, politically and strategically. We are meeting at a time when the world is changing rapidly. Competition between great powers is increasing. Competition over influence, over resources and over norms. We see this in Europe with Russia's illegal war of aggression against Ukraine. We see it in Asia, in growing tensions in the Indo-Pacific. We see it globally, in the race for the Arctic, in the increasing number of trade disputes, and in the fragmentation of the rules-based trading system. In this environment, together, we face a joint set of challenges. Rules that we considered the backbones of international order are being called into question. We are witnessing the ever more dangerous effects of climate change. And we are facing risks, but also joint opportunities in the technological revolution. My dear friends, which conclusions should we draw from these manifold challenges? I'm convinced that we need an unwavering commitment to invest in our partnerships, because we can only secure our freedom, our security and our prosperity if we stand together. But the truth is also the world around us is changing and we need to change in it. In Europe, Russia's illegal war has become a cautionary tale, one that showed us how highly complex it can be to find the right balance between partnership and dependence, how dangerous over-dependencies can be, and how important it is to be resilient and able to defend ourselves. And let me be clear, we have learned our lessons. That is why in Germany we have upped our defense spending and our investment in security. And that is why the European Union as a whole is strengthening its defense readiness and redefining its role as a geopolitical actor. For example, by strategically diversifying its trade relationships and ambitiously negotiating free trade agreements. The conclusion of negotiations with Indonesia was an important milestone this year. I'm confident that this success will also provide new momentum for our negotiations with India, which we are in a final stage, as well as for those with Thailand, Malaysia and the Philippines. Yet what remains unchanged are our common interests. Together, we are aiming to secure free trade and open sea lanes, because we agree that prosperity can be achieved through cooperation. Together we are committed to a rule-based international order, because we agree that peace and stability matter globally. Together we are investing in our ability to work as a global community, because we agree that global security risks can only be overcome by working mutually. And to achieve all this, we need partners. That is why I have made promoting and deepening global partnerships a top priority for my ministry and for Germany's foreign policy. Luckily, the countries in the Indo-Pacific and in Europe are natural partners who are already cooperating closely. Together we are working through free trade agreements on maritime security and supply chain resilience. The EU's Global Gateway Initiative sends a clear signal that Europe is present in and committed to the Indo-Pacific region. However, many of my conversations during my trips to Japan, Indonesia and India made clear there's even greater potential for cooperation and dialogue. So, dear friends, today's meeting is an important signal of friendship and shared responsibility. In these times of uncertainty, let us stand together and move forward together. Times are changing, and so is the European Union. But one thing remains. The EU stands ready as a reliable and strong partner, ready to face global challenges together with you. I thank you.
Thank you. And now I give the floor to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora of Seychelles.